Hello, I am Katie Lee, and I'm excited to have Angie Breidenbach, the Executive Director of the International Institute of Genealogical Studies, with me today. She is here to tell you a little bit about a promo that the genealogicalstudies.com is holding, a 10% off any package. So, Angie, can you tell us a little bit about that?
I am so super excited. Thank you. Thank you for being with me today, Katie Lee. This is awesome. We have a very special 10% off promo. And the reason we're doing this is that we are going to be releasing our new website this summer. And so I'm super excited for that. And the promo is off of any package we have. It's not individual courses, but any package we have. You just need the code REMEMBER. We're celebrating Memorial Day. We're having a great time with that because that's exactly what we do as genealogists, is remember those that went before us. And so we're celebrating all those people that have not only heroic tales, maybe those that have military ancestors or veterans in your families. They have very heroic tales sometimes, and we want to remember the sacrifices that they did for us. But in addition, we're also wanting to remember those that are cautionary tales, because we don't want to repeat those mistakes, but sometimes they also help us understand. And when we remember that's your code. When we remember, we learn a lot about our families and ourselves, and often we gain a better sense of belonging and understanding. Sometimes maybe we hold a grudge, or maybe we hold somebody in awe, but we didn't understand who they were, what they actually went through. So remember those people and come and join us at the International Institute of Genealogical Studies, found at genealogicalstudies.com. And the special goes through June 2nd. So be sure to register and purchase the package of your choice and use that code REMEMBER. If you forgot to put that code REMEMBER in, you can always call me at the office, 800-580-0165, and I'll help you correct that. We are real people. We're really here for you. If we're on the phone with someone else, you can just always drop a message or use the chat on the website. That will alert us. And as soon as we're free, we'll get to you. Yeah.
I love that. Remember. I will remember.
Remember your code.
So, Angie, I did take a little cruise through your website, and I noticed that you have professional certifications. Can you tell me a little bit about what that entails? So this isn't just someone coming on to look something up about their past, but this is actually a professional organization.
Right. We're actually a professional trade school now. We're registered in the US as a professional trade school. So when you get a certification from us, it means that you've actually learned the trade to go out and do the job. You can hang the shingle if you want to be an entrepreneur. But it's a wonderful way to get your records groups. Maybe you want your professional development, where you need to learn how to build a website, or you need to learn how to actually run a business. Particularly focused on genealogy. We have classes that help you be able to build your business so that you can be an entrepreneur. Or we have development classes that help you to get continuing education, or be able to expand your resume to maybe you want to go work for one of the bigger companies. And there's a lot of them out there. There's a lot of jobs that you can do as a professional genealogist, and people aren't aware of that. And there's such an open field right now in professional genealogy. And the thing I like to tell people, in addition to getting your certifications, whether you want to get your certification in American records, English records, Australian records, Eastern European records, Italian records, Irish records, maybe you want Scottish or German records. There's so many opportunities with us. We carry all more of the different varieties of country record certifications than anywhere else that you can find. So I'm pretty proud of our team for that. We're in constant updates for those too. So we're working hard to keep updating those for everybody. We have professors attached to each one of the certifications. And on our coming new website, so the website we have currently is been around for a long time. It's very, very well known. But I came in a year ago as the new executive director. And my goal is to modernize and streamline everything for you. And we're doing that with the new website that will release this summer. I cannot wait.
I'm sure it's going to be beautiful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Congratulations on that. That's great. Your mention of the Scottish heritage definitely piqued my interest, just being the Scottish girl that I am. My dad actually has a bound book that dates back through his whole genealogy all the way back to like the 1400s. And
Wow.
it's just neat to see their names and what they did and just a little bit about them. That's my ancestry.
And that's what we're hoping, that people will not only just list out their names, but do what you and I were talking about before, write the stories, write the biographies, put those together. Even if you only learn, a paragraph or a page about them, you're filling that person out as more of a holistic human being. What kind of a person were they? What
Mhm.
kind of job did they hold? When I went to Scotland, I found out that my 3 times great grandfather was a cotter for an ironworks. And I didn't know what the word cotter meant at the time. Turns out it meant he carried things, whether he carried them by hand across distances, or whether he used a cart or baskets, or whether he used horse and buggy. Because carts, would have been done with your hands on like wooden handles or iron handles. That would be a cotter. And I
Okay.
found my 3 times great grandfather was a cotter, and I had no idea. And my daughter was over there, and she was getting her master's degree from University of Glasgow. And we found out that the flat that she and her husband rented was about 6 blocks from where my 2 and 3 times great grandparents used to live. And that tenement I was able to find in the nearby library. They had maps that you could lay over each other, and you
Mhm.
could really pinpoint what it looked like at that time and what
Wow.
it looked like today. So those are the kinds of things we teach genealogists to be able to do through the foundational certification and methodology. And then they can go out and be a researcher. But the records groups and the electives, things that bond that together to get you your 40 plus, because it depends on which certification you're in,
Mhm.
get you that PLCGS after your name, which means Professional Learning Certificate Genealogical Studies. You get to put it after your name like a postnominal, just like MD, PhD. It proves that you have graduated with your trade school certification.
That's
And
an amazing opportunity that you are offering people. You mentioned writing though, and I know historians, librarians, particularly would be interested in something like this. But you also mentioned that you are encouraging people to write what they find. Can you tell us a little bit about the writing publishing component of your school?
yes, we have a lot of things coming new later this year as well with that. But currently, you can take courses, learn how to write and develop a book, whether it's a memoir, a history of your family, or biographies. Maybe it's a short book that you want it to be a scrapbook or something like that. You can do all sorts of things like that. And so we have personal historian classes that will teach you how to put those things together. But then once you do it, that's why I was so excited to talk to you, Katie Lee. Then we can refer you to a retreat or a sabbatical where you take the time out of life and go really put that story together, and put the words on the page. So going through our courses, it's going to teach you how to do that. And you can do it on your own for sure. But as we know, as writers, and I know with fellow genealogists, that sometimes when you work alone, it's a lot harder to do than when you can bounce off of somebody that's working with you. It's so nice to be in community with people. So yeah, there's actually a certification that you can get in being a professional genealogist with personal historian coming. But we have those classes right now, and we're going to add to them. We're also adding some classes throughout the next year on helping you better be able to read the languages of the records that you're studying. So
Wow.
pretty exciting. Um, you don't have to be fluent in the language to be a professional genealogist in that
Okay.
record group, whether it's Italy or Germany or any of the others. You can find ways that we can teach you how to read very common phrases
Okay.
and that are well used in genealogy. So that's
Cool.
but the continuing education credits you had asked about, and I think I forgot to answer that.
Okay.
Yeah. So for the continuing education credits, if you're a librarian, if you're a museum docent, if you work for an investigative unit or something like that, you would want to take our DNA and genetic certification, because you not only are going to learn how DNA works in genealogy, the markers in DNA, forensic DNA, that are different in genealogy than they are in CODIS, which is like what law enforcement might use. And they don't have nearly the amount of markers. And so we teach you better how to do that. But it becomes super important for people, or maybe they're trying to track down missing family members. Maybe they want to become a professional genealogist that helps to repatriate soldiers from foreign wars. And it doesn't matter what country you're in doing that. And maybe you're in Canada, maybe you're in Great Britain, maybe you're in Australia, but they're bringing back our soldiers from previous wars. It's very nice to be able to know who they are. Well, what happens with a professional genealogist in repatriation with someone who's passed away, maybe they need to rebuild their family tree because maybe all the family that were there are no longer alive. So they rebuild back up the tree, back down, and find the family that soldier belongs to. It's really amazing work. It gives me the chills just thinking about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so rewarding. A
Mhm.
rewarding definitely component to what you do.
Mhm.
So the writer in me, especially the suspense writer in me, is really interested in that law enforcement component.
Mhm.
Um, and uh, I would think that even writers would be interested in understanding what your school does, just to help them with their books and bringing more authenticity to their books.
I think you're right. And it's a very important thing to understand the science behind it,
Mhm.
because there's an up and coming genre, which is mystery, and then they're genealogically based. There's some out there.
Mhm.
I think it's important because the world of genealogy, there's a lot of great genealogists, but they really haven't touched on the industry of writing and publishing. And so later on, coming up in the next year, we're actually going to be adding on a publishing arm and taking a look at books and from people who are wanting to write maybe those mystery stories. A lot of family history mysteries are a reason for people to become genealogists, because they want to solve their own family mystery,
Yes.
and or they want to understand why. And I think it's really important to, as a writer, do your proper research. And that includes understanding the methodology, is what we call the science of genealogy, because it is a recognized science, genealogical science, and it has very specific proof standards. So as a writer, once you learn some of those things, first of all, the classes are fun to do and they're interesting, but then you start to understand the logic behind things. And just like when we learned how to write, and you have to do things in a proper logical sequence, right? You
Yes.
don't raise the gun and shoot the tiger and then scream.
Right.
The first thing that happens is your eyes widen and you scream, or you're in silent scream because you're so petrified. And then you raise the gun and shoot the tiger, right? From a very famous, was it Dwight Swain book? So yeah, learning how to write, we do have classes that teach you how to put it together. And then we also have tutoring or mentorship that you can purchase in addition to the various certifications. So if you're
They're
struck,
all online.
yeah, they are, thank you, they're all online.
Okay.
And so you can do it from anywhere in the world. And the beauty of it being all online, moving to our new website, is it's going to be very interactive with videos and all of the different courses, glossaries, language help, all that. And currently we do use Zoom to be able to meet with our students. And so you can visit our YouTube channel and see a sampling of videos. We just started.
Wonderful. Okay. So would you say these are small class sizes per instructor, or are they?
There's no limit on a class,
Okay.
because when you do a virtual meeting with them, students can come on. Quite often, we'll have anywhere from a dozen to 50 or 60 people in a class,
Wow.
It depends on the interest in the class and the time of day. And so we try to vary the time of day to catch people. And then the other thing we do for students is we allow them to just view the recording. So, somebody in the same class is probably going to have similar questions, but if you have a very specific question, we encourage you to be there live. You can always email us and we'll shoot that email to the proper professor so that you can get your question answered by email. And you can always be tutored one-on-one. That's a little bit additional charge, but not much. And I
Okay.
think it's really important to realize that you do it at your own pace.
Okay.
So I think that's very unique. You can do other things at your own pace, but in this case, you can get your certification. You can be a working person. You can have, your outside needs, whether it's your family needs or whatever, but you can focus on your courses at your own pace. And we love that.
Mhm. Okay. And how long would you say it takes someone to go through the full certification?
It, they're designed to be about 18 to 24 hours per course with a few course exceptions. We give you about 8 to 12 weeks per course because maybe you have an hour or two a night. And I do have people that are really gung-ho and they can knock that 18 hours out in a week. And so as a general norm, most people finish a full trade school designation, PLCGS, in about 18 months. If they need a little more time, we have something that's very unique to our school, and it's Grace and Mercy for adults who are adulting.
I love that.
That came in really important to me because I ended up with 4 book contracts in 1 year. I think during the whole time that I was going to school, I had something like 6 or 7 book contracts from traditional publishers. And I was balancing writing to deadline at the same time as trying to take my classes. So I have my certification in English records, and I already have business management and all of that, as well as, we have lecturing courses to help people overcome their fear of speaking, but also be able to then go out and be a professional speaker. So those are all really helpful. But Grace and Mercy for Adults for Adulting has to do with something very unique to our school, and that is before, during, and up to 2 weeks after your class ends, we'll move you into the next available course date or a future course date at no charge to you. And I know other schools are fabulous schools, but if you have to withdraw, you lose all your money for the entire semester or session, and then you have to turn around and purchase it again. Only thing you would ever have to do is if you got past that 2-week window of the grace period, then you'd only have to re-register for 50% of that one class. And our courses are super reasonable. Most of them are under, I think the most current expensive one is well under $200, and the average is probably in the $99 to $150 for an
Okay.
right?
Yeah, that's really reasonable
Very reasonable.
for all they're getting. Yes.
Yeah, and the packages are very reasonable. You can get a 40 course package right now and then get your 10% discount off of that through June 2nd. It's you're in the 3,600 to 5,000 range for an entire trade school certification where you can literally walk out the door from getting your certificate and go to work. And I don't know many people that can do that. In college. You walk out the door and you're going
Now
crazy.
what? Now what? Yeah,
So one of the
my kids graduated. It's like, okay, now what?
exactly. But we help gear you and guide you to what you're going to do when you're done so that you can start working right away. And you can even start working while you're in school because each of the levels of certification build on each other. So we have basic, intermediate, advanced. And once you get your full methodology, you can be a professional researcher. But then if you add on to that, and also they're done in like modular, if you will, building the house, the foundation, right?
Yep.
Your methodology is your foundation of your house. And then you're going to put up the walls of your house, and the roof would be, say, your American certificate or your Canadian certificate. And then you're going to make it really beautiful and fill out your yard and your landscaping by adding on a German certificate or an English certificate. So it's continuing education for us, just like writers, just like doctors, just like lawyers. There's always continuing education going on.
Always want to be learning. Always. Yep. Never stop learning.
We're here for you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. So genealogicalstudies.com looks like it has a lot on the horizon. You are, like you said, are offering that promo at 10% off of any package.
Through
I
June.
through June 2nd. Yes.
And use the code remember.
And use the code remember.
Remember to write remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you want your listeners to hear today about your institute?
I think it's really important to know that we are real people here working really with you to give you a real job when you graduate. And I think for us, we are the most unique school in the world, being the only trade school for genealogical studies that exists. And I think that it will help you go get the career of your dreams. And with the way that the economy has gone lately, people are really looking now for second or third careers or retirement opportunities. And you can do it whether you want to do it professionally or as a volunteer, or you want to enhance your knowledge for your studies. It's a wonderful opportunity at genealogicalstudies.com for us to be able to help you get the goal of your dreams. And our goal is to help you get your goal, because then we preserve history and ancestry and those, what do you want to call, heroic and cautionary tales that help you
And healing. I would
learn.
imagine. Yeah. Healing.
A lot of healing that goes on through genealogy. You'd be shocked.
Oh, yeah. In awe. Not shocked. I'd be in awe.
Yeah. So thank you. So join us. Use the code remember when you go to genealogicalstudies.com and you register to purchase the package of your choice. If you need help, just send me a chat through the website or call 800-580-0165. I'm at extension 1. And there's another Angie there named Angie Lynn Radeski. I'm Angie Breidenbach. Both of us know how to help you do that. And so let us help you get the job of your dreams. And for those of you who are graduating as maybe homeschoolers or high schoolers going off into the world, let us be your alternative to the really big kind of overbloated college university systems that, so I don't want to say anything negative about colleges, because colleges are important, but it may not be the job or the thing that you're getting out of college that is right for you. Let us help you do that too.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, I bless your organization, your institute, and I thank you for being with me today. And it's been lovely. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you. You too. All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.